Nope.
What is up, babes? It's Jess. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about my summer TBR. And I know that this video is coming out a few weeks into June, right? Jess, summer's already started. Let me present to you Kansas weather, okay? It has been so rainy and muggy and disgusting for the last like 3 weeks. And I feel like it's only just now gotten to the point where we're staying in the 80s, upper 80s. It's hot outside, right? Like I bought a kiddie pool today so we can get outside and get some sun and not die from a heat stroke. But also, you know what I did? Oh my God, I have to tell you guys. I also caved and bought one of those inflatable loungers where you can lay in it. It almost looks like an inflatable bed with edges around it, and you can fill it up with water so that you can lay in like a shallow pool and tan, hang out, read. I will definitely maybe do like a vlog kind of thing. And I really want to do just like a casual lifestyle type vlog to kind of show you guys like my day to day. And I think that would be a good thing to include. So maybe like on a really good rec day, we can get that content out. But anyway, I'm so excited to use that and to be able to read outside, but like in water, but not swim, you know? Summertime, baby. We're thriving this year. And it wouldn't be summertime if we weren't reading some summer romances, right? I created a TBR for my 2025 summer reading, and we're going to go through that today. Also, side note, this list that I'm providing is in order of publication date, coming out anywhere from May to July. So these were meant to be read in the summertime, I'm assuming, or at least has some summer vibes to it, but they're being released in the summer. First up on the list, I have The Summer is Between Us by Noreen, Nanja. The publication date was May 13th of this year, and I've heard that this book is told in a dual timeline, so you get snippets of the past with a little bit of the present, and then it all connects and meshes so that everything makes sense, which is a very helpful tactic when you have a second chance romance. Leah ends up back at her childhood vacation home to take care of some family, and she reconnects with her first love, Wes. The summer vibes are there. I'm especially interested in this book because the FMC is a South Asian Canadian protagonist. It sounds like some of the turmoil with the MMC in their past was due to some cultural differences, and like maybe her family didn't approve of him necessarily. And so I'm so interested to read a book that has that element in it. It is currently rated at 4.02 stars on Goodreads. Next up on the list, we have Problematic Summer Romance by Hazelwood. Publication date is May 27th of this year. It is book 2 in the Not in Love series, and I haven't read the first book, but I have seen some reviews saying that it's not necessary to have read it to read this one, and I've seen a lot of chatter about how good this book is, and so because it's got the summer vibes, I'm here for it. It's on my list. If I can get to Not in Love also, maybe we'll hit that up too, but for sure this one. So this book is mainly a romance between Maya and Connor, who gets stuck in a romantic Sicilian villa because Maya's brother is getting married and Connor is his best friend. Oh, and he's 15 years older, by the way. Problematic summer romance. This book is currently rated 4.11 stars on Goodreads. So the next book I have is All's Fair in Love and Pickleball by Kate Spencer. Publication date is June 3rd of this year. The FMC is trying to keep her family's racket club open, and it's needing some major repairs, right? The MMC just so happens to be a former professional tennis player who is a grumpy little boy that throws temper tantrums and needs a little zhuzh, a PR zhuzh, if you will. He ends up training at the facility because he's got to be closer to family as well, and they both get caught up in a web of lies. They kind of have to fake date, and there just so happens to be a pickleball tournament that they both have to win because there's enough prize money for her to help repair the club. But then also, wow, look at him not throwing tantrums and actually being a nice guy. Sets him up for a win, don't you think? In more ways than one. This book is actually rated 3.79 stars on Goodreads currently. I thought the cover was super cute when I saw it and have recently become intrigued with pickleball, so I just knew I had to request a copy, but I did get accepted for an ALC for this book, so stay tuned for that. Next up, we have Ordinary Love by Marie Rutkoski. Publication date is June 10th, 2025. Emily seems to have it all, right? She's got the husband, she's got the kids, she's got the really nice house, but she ain't happy. She's a little empty inside, right? Then station, she runs into her high school best friend, Jen, who is a super successful athlete now, and they are living two completely different lives. But they reconnect. And were they just too young to handle their new love when they were younger? And could they handle it now? We shall see, hopefully. This book is rated 4.13 stars on Goodreads currently. And now we have Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston. Publication date is June 17th. The FMC is a songwriter who has major writer's block, whose life is seemingly falling apart right now. But she starts hearing this melody in her head, and there's like this dude's voice that's kind of going along with it, and guess what? The dude is a grumpy musician who's having the same thing. Like, he's got the other part of this going on in his head. They meet up. They're like, hey, you have this thing happening? Yeah, I do too. So they try to work together to finish the song and get it out of their heads. But will it fall into their hearts instead? Sorry. I am a huge Ashley Poston fan. If you guys didn't know, The 7-Year Slip is still one of my favorite reads. If you haven't read it, I would highly recommend adding it to your TBR to read soon. Not like, I'm gonna add it to my TBR and it's at the bottom of a 200 book list. I'm saying like it's got to be one of your next 5 reads, because it's just, Ashley Poston has a way of writing magical realism, and it's so good. I'm hoping this book is just as good. It is currently rated 4.29 stars on Goodreads, so that's a good sign. Next up, we have The Proposal Project by Donna Marchetti. Publication date is June 19th. The FMC has a friend. The MMC has a friend. Their friends want to propose to each other, so they're going to have to figure out a way to not let their respective friend propose before the other, so they're trying to set them up to have a joint proposal. Of course, because they're working in close proximity, they're going to have to be enemies, right? They are enemies to lovers moment. This is also an arc that I received. It's currently rated a 3.83 on Goodreads, but early on in my reading journey, I had read Hate Mail by Donna Marchetti, and I really liked that book. I rated it 4 stars. So when I saw that she was coming out with another one, I knew I had to request it, and I'm actually really excited to read this one. All right, another friends, enemies to lovers situation here. We have The Friends to Lovers Project by Paula Ottoni. Daisy and her best friend Jeremy were both dumped by their exes, and they were gonna go on a shared trip to Venice, and so they were like, heck it, we'll just go together still. While they're there, they're like, it's so romantic. Why don't you and I get together? Because people have said that we're perfect for each other, so why not explore that? Along their journey in finding love out of friendship, they come across Lorenzo, okay? Lorenzo's not only a tour guide, he's a love guide. Lorenzo gives them all of the tips on how to romanticize their time there, and it should be easy, right? Except he starts falling for Daisy, and then Daisy just becomes a confused girly pop in Venice and doesn't know what to do. This is currently rated 3.7 stars on Goodreads. I did also receive an ALC for this book, and this is another one where I recognized the author's name immediately and was like, oh, I wonder what this one's going to be about. Paula Ottoni had released Never Date a Roommate, and I did give that one 3 stars. I honestly didn't like it, but it was just like a book, you know? But I'm all for second chance romances, so I wanted to see what this one was going to be about. I'm so excited for this next one. It is called Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. Publication date is July 22nd, so it is not out yet, and this is not an arc, but I have seen a lot of good things about this book. The FMC is a Native American pop singer who had a little oops moment and is trying to escape public scrutiny, so she's going back home to her estranged grandma's ranch in Oklahoma. But a particular cowboy on the ranch is not fond of our little pop singer girly. But the ranch is struggling. They need help financially, and she's got the clout to help them. So they end up working together, and they end up working together. You know, they end up together. A lot of the reviews were saying that it was giving Hannah Montana the movie and supplying the Native American representation, and I think that's just so good, especially for cowboy romances. Describe your typical cowboy in 2 words. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good story for the space, and it has a lot of good reviews. It's currently rated 4.3 stars on Goodreads, so for not even being out yet and it being so high, I think that's really good. It's a good sign. But also, I'm a fan of the author on Threads, so.
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Something I gotta have to lose.
Okay. Thank you. Next up on the list is The Code for Love by Anne Marsh. Publication date is July 29th. Pandora is a software engineer that is trying to create an app to help predict a user's ideal travel partner, and her demo identified Ozzy, sorry, that was rude, Ozzy as a match. Ozzy is a social media star slash surfer who's super laid back, and the two could be anything but similar. But Pandora's boss wants them to go on a little road trip and create a bunch of media and promo material, fake dating material to help promote the app and the brand. Obviously, sharing a van, you're gonna look a little cozy with one another, and so we'll see how that ends up for them. It's currently rated 3.06 stars on Goodreads, but I'm always a supporter of women in STEM-related fields, so I'm very curious to see how this goes. And the cover was cute, so that drew me in. That is currently my TBR list. A lot of them are arcs, so I'm a little more inclined to read those above anything I currently have on my outstanding TBR list, but everything is releasing this summer, so I'm all about the vibes. I'm all about the romances. I'm all about representation. I feel like we got a good mix of romance books here, and I'm just excited to get into it. If you need additional recs, I know these weren't necessarily recommendations because I haven't read them myself yet, but here are a few that I have read last year within the last couple of years that I think would also be really good reads for the summertime. So I'm going to start off with Summer in the City by Alex Aster. I know that did come out a couple months ago, and I had the arc, wow, I don't even remember. It feels like it was a while ago, but I read the book not in the summertime, and I still really enjoyed it. I think it was a really good book. That book came out with 7 different editions. Every store possible had its own edition, and I thought it was a good book, but I didn't think I needed to buy 7 different editions of it. You know what I mean? So it is based out of New York City, and honestly, summer romance, yes, but also just a book that really gets you to want to visit a place. That was it. It was giving me Sex in the City vibes. I could picture New York City. Imagine you go to a bakery. It's your go-to bakery, right? You have a go-to pastry. It's so good. You go in another day and they don't have your pastry anymore because it's out of season. So what does your love interest do? Just buys the entire chain to put your pastries back in stock and find a way to bring them. I think it was blueberries. Find a way to source blueberries that technically weren't in season so that you could have your pastries from your favorite place. Billionaire romances are just on a different level, to be completely honest. I really need to make a list of billionaire romances. If you guys have billionaire romance recs, let me know, because I think I need to explore that a little more. The other one that's always going to be a given for me is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It is the 3rd book in her series. However, that was the first Abby Jimenez book that I had ever read, and I don't think it's necessary to have read the first 2 books. It actually was an interesting read going back to the first 2 after I had read the 3rd and being oh my gosh, this is who those people were. That's how they end up. Oh, that's why that made sense. It's honestly, I'm not turned off by reading series like that. It actually makes me really think about the book a little more and making those connections myself. But it's a good exercise if you've never done it before. I think that particular series is a good one. But Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, 5-star read. I cried. It's freaking fantastic. Might be, if I had to rate the Abby Jimenez books that I have read so far, that honestly might be the top. Might be number 1. Well, hold on. Say You'll Remember Me. No. Well, no. I think Say You'll Remember Me is my second, and then Just for the Summer is still first. I think that would be my ratings. I'm planning on doing a video in the future going through all of the Abby Jimenez books, and then I also want to do something similar with Emily Henry because I know there's a lot of discourse on the ratings of all of her books, and you're either one type of Emily Henry reader or another type of Emily Henry reader. I just think that would be fun to do and see how all of you guys compare and your thoughts on those books. Abby Jimenez is one of my favorite authors, and so I'm a little biased remiss in saying that those two are my favorites, but we're talking about summer reads just for the summer. It's a great one. Okay, so the last actual recommendation that I have for you, it's a series of 7 books by 7 different authors. I was catching just the end of their release journey and when they were starting to promo all of the materials and their books, and I think they shared a Canva whiteboard situation so that like they knew what characters were doing what in certain timelines, and like it just seemed like such a fun collaborative thing that these authors did. But the covers are so cute all together. They look great. I don't own the set because I don't know why. I think I was just waiting for the summer to buy them. Honestly, I will do that soon. When payday comes, that might be the first thing that I buy. I actually love this series so much. I bought this sweater and it says Sunset Harbor. Sunset Harbor is a little island, a fictional island off the coast of Florida, and it's so small that the only way that you can get around or are allowed to get around is by golf cart. And they have one officer assigned to this island. Like he's like the only dude, and he's got a golf cart that's like tricked out, and he will pull people over for driving recklessly in a golf cart, and it's hilarious. Somehow 7 bachelors and 7 bachelorettes end up on this island all kind of around the same time, and they start coupling up. Let me tell you, on this island, the weather ain't the only thing that's getting hot, okay? We get a little steamy. You get a little banter, you get a little bit of yearning, you get a little bit of everything with this series, okay? And it's so funny because characters interconnect, they're friends, you know, and I'm not talking like side characters that become the main characters. I'm talking like third party, the person that owns the shop or the person that owns this or whatever that like are still interacting with the main characters, like those types of side characters. It's so interesting seeing how they interact with all of the other main characters. I'm just going to walk you through all 7 books real quick and their tropes. The first book is Summer Ever After by Kortney Keisel. It is a golf romance, best friend's brother rom-com, hard to get, all of the tropes, dual POV. I honestly remember reading this in the car. We were on a road trip to Nebraska, I think, and I read this in the car. No, you know what it was? We were going to Colorado. It was our family trip to Colorado because it was a super long drive. I think it was like 8 hours. And so I was like, I'm gonna read all 7 of these books in this car. This series is getting finished before I come home. And I remember like actively giggling and kicking my feet in the car because this first book is so funny. I love it. It's a good introduction to the series. The second book is Beachy Keen by Kasey Stockton. Tropes of this one include billionaire romance, boss and assistant, forced proximity, opposites attract, he's obsessed with her, secret crush, and dual POV. I love books when the FMC is like, I don't know if I like you. And then you switch to the MMC's POV and it's like, he's so obsessed with her and he's like yearning the entire time. And then you switch to her POV and she's just over here like complaining about him the entire time. I love books like that. I eat it up. Also, the summer vibes of this book are top tier. The third book in the series is Plotting Summer by Jess, Heileman. Tropes include unrequited love, secret identity, next door neighbors, friends to lovers. There's a one shower scene and it's her POV. The FMC is a romance author and her pen name is the nickname that her crush gave her and his last name. And she ends up super successful and she has to explain the coinkydink to him. But nobody knows that she writes or has this name. And so when people start finding out, she's got to like explain that little detail and how she came up with the name. This one was also a good one. They're all good. I don't know what I'm talking about, but especially good. Book 4 is Summer Tease by Martha Keys. Oh, that sounds good. This is a cop romance, rival families, hate to love, flirty banter, he falls first, and it's her POV. Okay, think what you want, but this man is so flirty and charming and he is hilarious. As a side character in the other books, he was also like just funny, but him as the main character, he's just so like lively and not careless. What's the word? Carefree. Like he's just a happy little puppy. He's like a golden retriever. He's like the definition of what like a golden retriever boyfriend would be, in my opinion. The 5th book is Beauty and the Beach by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. The tropes of this include CEO romance, brother's best friend, hate to love, marriage of convenience, and it's a dual POV. Hate to love is advertised on a lot of books, but then when you read it, it's like actually kind of insta love, but they're kind of pretending to hate each other kind of thing, you know? But in this situation, like there was tension. Okay, there was extreme tension between these two, and the FMC did not let up for a long time. So I will say this is a good hate to love, enemies to lovers type of situation. Book 6 is One Happy Summer by Becky Monson. Tropes include celebrity romance, opposites attract, fish out of water, friends to lovers, dual POV, and I will say it is very heavy Notting Hill vibes. Okay, Notting Hill, the movie, have you seen it? This is pretty much the same thing. So take that how you will. It was still pretty good. The last book is Rebel Summer by Cindy Steele. It's a frenemies to lovers. They kind of had a will they won't they kind of thing when they were younger, and now, girl, we do what we want. Now we're adults. You know what I mean? Opposites attract. Forced proximity. It's a bad boy MMC and a good girl FMC. I put on the list, want me to beat him up? And this one's actually written in her POV. There is a lot of like friendly, flirty banter between the two, and they had some history. It's so funny because he is known in the other books as the hot mechanic because he has like a full sleeve, and the retirement home that's like across the street from his shop has a bunch of old ladies that just like to sit outside and stare at him, and it's like known and talked about in all of the other books. So it's so funny that like we get all of these details about him being like this attractive dude just trying to do his job and help people, that he is the last book. And the couple story is really cute because they have some history and it's like overcoming the stuff that they had gone through, and it's a really good book. But yes, let me know if you guys have read any of these books, either the ones on my TBR or the ones that I had just recommended for you, and let me know like what you're reading this summer. Are you planning on reading specifically summer vibe romances, or are you kind of just reading what's on your TBR? Just it's not really any different, you know? I'm curious to see how you guys tackle your TBR. I always seem like I'm constantly finding new books to read that I never get to my actual TBR, but we'll work on it, right? Let me know if you guys have read any of the books that I had mentioned in this video, but that is what I got. Hopefully we will get through all of these books by the end of summer, and summer probably for me means like mid-August, I would say. End of August, mid-August, I don't know. We'll keep you updated, but I just thought it would be a fun little video to go specifically over summer books. Holy crap, I'm filming this in one go and it says that this is 47 minutes. I really hope that I edit out a lot of things so that this isn't a super long video. And if it is, and you made it to the end, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me talk about stuff. Probably going to be doing a lot of that on this channel, but if you're here, I appreciate it. That's all I can say. All right, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I probably should get to bed, but I love you guys. Please remember, y'all are kind, y'all are beautiful, and y'all are mother-effin loved. I'll see you in the next one.